Welcome to my kitchen. This space feels both relaxed and refined at the same time. And as part of my kitchen series, I'm going to walk you through a little bit about the remodel, but also about the finishes, the colors, and the selections that we made to make the space feel like it feels, and also to function like I wanted it to function for my family. I wanted my space to feel a little bit French, a little bit beachy, and so I chose a lot of very natural distress kind of finishes. So for instance, I chose to use French oak on the floors, and I chose to do different patterns that feel a little French. In the kitchen, it's more casual, it's a wider plank, it's been wire brushed in a random pattern. So it feels relaxed in this space, but as you're coming from the formal entry in the hallway, you can see we've used these other lovely patterns. So in addition to the wire brush floors, we've given them an unusual painted finish. We wanted it to look like bleached wood planks or like the sand on the beach. So the color very neutral, very distressed, and really sort of blending with our beach sort of vibe. So we've chosen this grayed patinaed look on the floors, and then that's also what we've chosen for our beams. So we actually used beams from an old barn from the East Coast, and we laid them outside in the sun while we were under construction. And we did this so that they would naturally gray out. And we've got the patterns that we had to work out the patterns so that our work areas and our lighting all played within the patterns of our beams. So obviously first we worked with what the pattern of the lighting needed to be for the function of our space, and then worked around the beams around that particular function. But all of these distress finishes really give us a relaxed, beachy kind of French feel. So as a designer, when you're designing a space, you want to think about first, how do you want that space to feel? I wanted my space to feel very light and bright and be a backdrop for the flowers that I loved so much from the garden. You want to think about what it is that makes you feel happy and comfortable in your family, feels happy and comfortable, and design around that. One of the other things that I liked about having a neutral space, I'm able to decorate for the holidays and not compete with colors. So I love being able to bring the florals in the summer, but also during the holidays, being able to have whatever color I'd like to have on top of my neutral backdrop. So think hard about what it is you'd like and how you would like your space to feel and what colors you'd like to use before you even start planning the rest of your space. This was a down to the studs remodel, and not because it was such an old space, but because the space did not function well for our family. This was a very formal floor plan, and it was very closed off. The family room was closed off from the kitchen, and the breakfast eating area was across the hall, and this was a wall full of cabinets with two little windows and a marvelous ocean view behind it. So what I did is open up the space in several different ways, also removed this wall and popped it out by 6 feet. So only moving it out 6 feet, I was able to make a really cozy baguette area for my family that we use every single day. And we use it to have breakfast, we use it for dinners, for playing games, watching football, and even Zoom calls for different members of the family. So by making these fundamental changes in my floor plan, I was able to achieve both a look and feel that I wanted, but also have the space function much better for my family. As you think about color, I'll share with you what I did in my particular kitchen. And because I wanted things to feel light and airy, but not cold and sterile, I chose a cream color. As you can see, I tried to match everything to my limestone countertops. So I've got a very pretty cream color on my wood walls, but in addition, I've got a glaze to the top of this. It's an aging glaze, so it makes it look not so new. But then I use the same color in a solid way on the kitchen islands and on my shelves and also my ceiling. I've lightened it up a little bit on my ceiling. And then of course, if you notice, all the different textures, they make a big difference too. So we basically used the same color throughout, but to make it look and feel more interesting, we've applied it in different ways and different finishes, or applied finishes on top to give us the look that we wanted and to have it feel a little more interesting. So as part of my space planning, I was able to add the luxury of another dining space in my kitchen. And this is a space that we use for lots of family dinners, and it's especially cozy by the fire, and yet we've still got the garden spaces off of it, so it feels very much sort of inside and outside as well. But this space is really a space that we use quite often for family dinners, and it's such a lovely space to have. And then I was able to design it so that at either end of my long, narrow room, I've got lots of storage for servingware and dinnerware, and then also tablecloths and napkins and all the things that you need right here to set the table. So rather than make my cabinetry in this space look exactly like the kitchen, I did something different here yet again. So again, same color, but I wire brushed. I had a built-in made and designed especially for what I knew I needed to store here. It gives you the feel of a freestanding piece, but it's very, very functional and designed especially for what I needed to store inside. You notice that the upper part of the cabinet is not as deep. I didn't want it to take up as much space. So I backed it up here on the top and then made it come out just about a foot deeper on the bottom. And that's so that I can house all kinds of chargers, I can house my linens, I've got tablecloths, napkins, and chargers below. So these nice big drawers that actually store all my linens, and it's really such a luxury. And I've done the same thing with another piece at the other end of the room where that is a freestanding piece, but I had it designed especially to accommodate, again, table linens and large platters, things that are always hard to find that special place to store them. This is really, again, quite a luxury to have. It's not a very wide space or a very deep space, but it accommodates all kinds of linens and all kinds of dishes all the way to the ceiling. And this was especially useful in this kitchen where I removed so many of the walls to open up the space. So I have very little in terms of uppers in the space, but by using both ends of my space to accommodate all kinds of kitchenware, I was able to solve that problem in a way that I think is aesthetically pleasing for us, but highly, highly functional for our family. As part of our kitchen remodel, we added on this outside deck. So we opened up these doors to the family room, open to the kitchen, and this made the space feel so much more expansive. And it's really only 12 feet deep, so it's not super deep, but it's a teak deck that we are able to accommodate dining on one side. I did little sort of almost a banquette seating around the edge, added a little fireplace, and then we've got seating on the other side as well. So just a casual group seating area, and then this is dining. So really not that much space added on, but it made such a difference in terms of how we use and function in the space. One of the things that you want to think about when you're planning your kitchen is your pantry space. So I have really detailed my pantry space because I didn't have a lot of uppers in my cabinets and because I removed so many walls. So I really went in on the detail of my space and how I was going to use it and where I was going to store things. So I actually have an extra sink in here. This is where my extra oven is and all my dish storage, baking racks and things like that. And it's also set up with a Dutch door so that if I wanted to use this to hide caters or something, I could, or to keep a dog in if I didn't want him running to the front door. So several different reasons. And then I also like seeing a line of sight into my dishes. I have a collection of Port Marion dishes that I have loved, and they've been gifted to me over the years by my parents, and they're one of my day-to-day items that I use and I love, but I think they're so pretty to look at and of course have such sentimental value to me as well. So thanks for following our kitchen tour. I hope we've given you some fun ideas and inspiration. If you'd like more detail about hardware or lighting or perhaps pantry design, I hope you'll follow our adventures on Instagram.